Hello, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be talking about two language learning apps that I use all the time for Spanish learning and that I think would be very helpful to you, especially if you're learning at home because it can be very hard to find ways to study, and I think that these apps are very helpful when it comes to that. And then it's also very hard to find native speakers, so you can immerse yourself, and it's very helpful with that as well. So let's get into the video. So to start us off here, we've got Spanish Dict. Now, what I like most about this app is the way that it's set up is really nice. It's super user friendly, and I love that. They've got a section for beginner speakers, for intermediate speakers, and they also have a section for advanced speakers. And there's appropriate word lists that go with each section of speaker. So you can have a list of like 1,000 beginner words that'll get you started because, as we know, the majority of a language that's spoken is going to be the most popular 1,000 words, the 1,000 words that make it up the most, or what you're going to hear the most. So they have a section for that. They have 100 verbs to get you started, 50 verbs to get you started, and then they go on, and like as you get to intermediate, you might progress to like reflexive verbs, and so that's a really cool feature that Spanish Dict offers. There are also in-depth video guides within each lesson, and you see this more when you get to the intermediate category. But they are integrated into the lesson, and there's a video guide who explains things, and they follow you along as you progress through. So, for example, they'll pop up with a video at the top of the screen, and they will explain things like grammar, pronunciation, verb conjugation, and it's really helpful because not everyone can learn just by like seeing it in an app. And people just learn a lot better when there's a visual aid, and languages, when you can hear it to repeat it, it's a lot better. And a lot of these apps, they have these very robotic voices, I guess you could say, that the pronunciation is there, but it's not really there. So Spanish Dict offers a video guide so you can actually hear it and walk your way through it. Another thing that Spanish Dict has that I think makes them stand out from other apps for language learning is that they have a very regional Spanish lessons. And what I mean by that is if you are in Mexico and you're using slang terms from Spain, people are probably not going to understand you. So Spanish Dict offers you the ability to like learn slang terms from different regions. So they have a wide range of countries. Like I know Mexico's on there and Spain's on there, and those are the ones that I see the most because those are the ones they have lessons on. But then they also have little side notes on like Argentina, Nicaragua, like it. So it's very diverse. And then another thing that I think is really cool for Spanish Dict is that they give you a new word every day to learn, and I think that is amazing because seeing it and getting that information filtering to you each day, you learn a new word, you use it a couple times in a sentence, now the word is in your mind. So even if you don't know it like on the spot when you're just casually thinking about it, if you get into a conversational situation and you don't know what something's called, you might just remember because it was your word on Spanish Dict. Another really cool thing is that widgets on iPhone, if you have an iPhone like I do, you can actually make a widget for your word of the day so that your word of the day goes right to your home screen, and that is really helpful. Before I had that, I was getting the word of the day, but I was reading it once, saying it once, forgetting it. But now that I see it on my home screen every day, I don't forget it because I'm constantly swiping through and seeing it. So yeah, that's Spanish Dict. My next app I'm going to be talking about is called Tandem. Now, I really like this app, and the reason I like this app is because it's an immersive experience. So you're fully immersing yourself in a language to converse with another person, and it's not just you doing it for you, it's an exchange of language. So you would go on the app and you would put in your information, say you're from America, you speak English, you want to learn Spanish, then Spanish speakers would come in and they'd be requesting to talk with you, to get in contact with you. So there's a community page, and this is where you go to find people to talk to. And they have spotlight people, which those are like the most active people who are on the community page that day. And you can converse with them, you reach out to people, you follow them, you message them, they can follow you, they can message you. And I think it's really good because it's immersion. So Things that it can help with is learning slang terms of other countries. So, like for example, like I've been talking a lot with Latin Americans. So as a result, I'm picking up on a lot of Latin American slang terms, and it's not really because you're talking about it. Like this is why we say this here, we say this here. It's just because you see them do it, so you end up yourself doing it, which is a really cool thing. It can help you with your pronunciation because as you're hearing it, you're soaking it in, you're taking it in, and you are then returning it, bringing it back out, and it can really help with your accent, you know. And then also grammar is another really big one. You know, if you're doing things wrong and then you hear someone do them right, you're gonna end up doing them right because you're gonna take it in, you're gonna hear it, you're gonna return it. Um, you you pick up on just a lot of things like that. You have the option of calling people, which I think is a really really cool thing. So you can converse with people as if you were, you know, in real life. You get that on the spot thinking, and it's really helpful to have that on the spot thinking when learning a language because otherwise, if you go to like a Spanish speaking country, it's it's going to be pretty overwhelming if you can't think on the spot to know the words and know how to respond. Um, you can call people by voice or by video, so there's a lot of like diversity within how you can communicate on there. You can also send audio messages, which is a another really really cool feature because calling sometimes can be awkward. There's a language barrier. It can just be weird. So it provides you with an alternative to that where you can still get the constructive feedback, but it's not through the same means. Whereas like you're calling and it's awkward because you don't know this person very well. Um, and then another cool feature that I like a lot is they have the ability to correct what you get wrong. So, for example, if you're texting, you get something wrong, there's an option where they can go in and correct. Like, say you got a verb conjugation wrong. They can go in and correct that, and then they can explain to you why, fix the message, edit the message. So, it's really cool. Overall, it's a really good app. It's really good for learning languages in general. And I just think, if you're studying Spanish, you want to get in contact with native speakers, this is the way to do it. This is the app that you need. And even if you're not just studying, even if you speak the language fluently, it's still really good because it helps you keep up. It helps you practice. Um, so yeah, that's Tandem. So that's it for today's video. If you enjoyed, leave a like, hit the subscribe button, give me suggestions in the comments, and I'll see you guys in the next video.